Welcome to the RETSY Podcast. Today, we're interviewing Brooke Fair. We get to hear this amazing story of Brooke starting her career with RETSY under the team at RETSY. Amazing mentorship. It's a great success story. I'm really excited for you to tune in and check it out. Welcome to the podcast with Brooke Fair.
I actually said it to my sister before I had my daughter. She was born in March of 2024. In January, I said to my sister, I want to have my best year yet, the year Blake, who's my daughter, is born. And I did. And so I really think whatever your mind can believe and conceive, you can achieve.
Welcome to the RETSY Podcast. Today we're sitting down with RETSY agent Brooke Fair.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, we always like to start this off as, what did you do before real estate?
So I started in real estate pretty much fresh out of college. I was probably like 8 months post-college, but I all throughout college and like when I was a senior in high school, I had a vision that I wanted to start a swimwear brand. And so I went to college thinking that. My college didn't have a fashion major, but I did like marketing and entrepreneurship as like a major and minor. And I interned. I went to college in Orange County at a school called Chapman. And just where it's super close to Newport Beach. So there's a lot of swimwear companies that have all started there. So I sent my resume to like everyone, and I worked for an amazing company pretty much all throughout college. Every summer I interned for them, and I did their PR and marketing.
Oh, cool.
It was a women's line, and it was really cool. I loved the company, and they offered me a job right out of college, and I started like a week after I graduated. And most people took the summer, they traveled, but like I just wanted to like hit the ground running. And I started there and started doing it full time. And I realized quickly it was sitting behind a desk in a corporate office, like a tall, like 12-story building. And I would like clock in and clock out and just like wait for emails all day. And I was so bored.
Yeah.
And I just was like, this isn't me. And I knew I wanted to like work really hard, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I went home and I told my parents, like, I just, I thought this is really what I wanted to do, but I don't think so. And it was actually my mom. She was like, I think you'd be great at real estate. No one in my family was in real estate. I didn't know much about it. And I was like, okay, that sounds great to me. Sure. So I was still in California at that time. So I got my license out there, but it's a little different out there. It takes about 4 months minimum to get your license. So I spent 4 months getting my license. And by the time I got it, I had been dating my husband, but it was my boyfriend at the time. We'd been together for forever and knew we would be married eventually. So he was working for my dad and like our family company, and he got an opportunity to move to Arizona. And so then that's what actually, it's funny because I'm the one from Arizona, but he was the one who really made us come like back home.
That's funny.
And
You're like, okay, bend my arm a little bit.
Yeah.
Go back to Arizona.
Yeah, I got to go back to Arizona. Yeah,
and your
fine.
family's here, right?
And my family's here,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I grew up here. I grew up in Arcadia. But anyway, so we moved here. It was like 2018. So yeah, I was just, 6-8 months out of college. And I had just gotten that California license, didn't even get to use it. Moved here, did the 2-week crash course.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was in the class, I knew like exactly who I wanted to work for. I'm so blessed and grateful to be on the team here at RETSY. And that's like who I wanted to work for. But I didn't want to, think like, oh, they'll hire me if I had to, interview with them and do all of that. But I got my license and I then interviewed with them. I interviewed with a few other people, more just like coffees. I even talked to people in commercial real estate just to make sure that wasn't something I wanted to do. And that just wasn't for me. And then I was so lucky that they hired me really early on.
Yeah, well, I know that Shauna, Becca, Laura all love you to death.
I love them. Oh my gosh.
That's something I definitely wanted to get into, is just kind of like being brand new in real estate, joining a team and being a good team member. Can you kind of walk us through like that like first year being a part of the team?
I mean, let's start from like the very first time you met with Shauna.
Yeah.
I think I met you either the first interview or the second interview, or it was early in the
Yes.
brand new in your career, but
Yes. So
I remember Shauna saying like she is such a hard worker and comes from a good family and has like, this drive and this work ethic and all I remember telling Shauna is like, that there's going to be a lot of mentorship with anybody entering into the career. And like, that's a great thing about RETSY and also one of our partners, Shauna Warner. But, she just really likes to show people the right way, give them enough room to run or give them enough room to run or fall, I guess. But that said, it's just like she's a good mentor in that aspect, but also like, you were a great mentee. Is that a word?
Yeah.
And it's just like she's like, everything I told Brooke to do, she just did it. And all of a sudden you have all this great success. We were talking, you had a $25 million year last year.
Oh,
that's huge.
I couldn't give them enough credit or kudos, like sincerely. I'm so proud and like wear the team so proudly that like I have always, since I started with them, I'm like, I'm on the team. Like I'm just so proud to be a part of them. But so yeah, when I first met them, my parents, they're all similar ages to all three of them. And so they've known them forever, but really we've, gotten to know them so much more now, being on the team and with them. But I mean, they were so nice to take me on. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so green. I mean, I was 22, 23 years old. Like at that time, I'm like, who's going to buy a house with me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but they gave me so much credit and so much confidence being a part with them. So when I first started, I got, did that interview and they were awesome and offered me the job. And they were so funny. They all said to me, they're like, we're the worst mentors. I'm like, what are you talking about? I know, like, I'm like, no, you're not. What? And I even remember something my parents said when I was interviewing and talking to people. They said, work with the people who you want to be and like who you aspire to be. And it was the three of them. They're all, badasses in what they do. They sell a shit ton of real estate. They're amazing. They're incredible human beings, moms, wives. They play tennis. They're just great community members.
Iconic in the neighborhood.
They're iconic. Yeah, exactly. They have such great reputations. And it was like, that was so important to be a part of something like that. And so I just felt so fortunate. But so to your question, Matthew, about being a good team member. So when I first started with them, I just thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know which way to go. I'll just text them every Monday and ask them, do you need anything? Like, I don't know what I can help them with at this point, but if I could just shadow them, if I could go to an appraisal, if I could go to a listing appointment, if I could just, they need me to go pick up a key and go unlock a door, like I will do anything. And then that would help fill up my week. So I would text every Monday. And then me slowly doing that, it started creating all these opportunities and getting my foot into that door. And so, because I'll say that first year of real estate, it was the weirdest backward grind for me. I'm so used to like my dad and my grandpa are like the hardest working people I've ever met. They've worked since they were 8 years old. The newspaper boy to, my dad put himself through college at the Cork and Cleaver, and then the Biltmore, he was a valet. And he's worked since he's 8 and he's 58 years old. So I've just been so used to like, okay, you graduate, you get a job and you work hard. And my first year and almost 2, I was like kind of twiddling my thumbs, like, what do I do each day? Like, I don't have a million clients yet, but I want to work hard. I want to like scrub the floors, like wash the cars. Like my family's in the car business. So that's like how I think,
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. So I had to kind of create it for me. But I was so lucky to be on a team because they gave me so many more opportunities than I would have ever had just by myself. So then that really created those opportunities and times for me to go in and open a door in Arcadia. That would be like work for me,
Well, it's like, your drive is obviously there, and that's a part of the success equation, I think. And Also, I mean, you said something that resonated with me is like you want to surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. It's just like, like mom used to say, it's like you are the product of the people you surround yourself with. So pick your friends wisely, right? That's true. And, and I look at RETSY, I mean, there's a lot of agents with our company that love and respect, have known for years. I'm so proud to work with them. And by doing that, I mean, ultimately you created your own opportunities, and I think a lot of younger executives are finishing college and they go after this degree with this dream of what it's supposed to look like. And it doesn't always turn out that way. I know a lot of really good friends with amazing degrees, and it's just like you get out there, and it's like ultimately you got to find what you're passionate about, right? And real estate gives you freedom, gives you really good income. It brings you involved into transactions that are very emotional, and you have to be, your clients have to trust you to guide you through it. So. I remember the first deal we did together. Do you remember which one it is?
Yeah, Joe Cocky.
Yeah. You're selling it again right now.
I just sold it again.
Yeah. And I remember just the way you showed the house, the way you handled the transaction, professionality, you negotiated for your clients properly. And we just had such a smooth transaction. And it doesn't always go like that in real estate. Unfortunately, I wish I could just train the industry in this next 2 minutes of agents need to approach each other as we have one end goal. I want to make my client happy. You want to make your client happy. We want the deal to close. But it's just they instantly go into defense mode and negotiation mode. And, you send a counter and they get offended. And I'm like, it's just business. What are you getting offended? Why are you so worked up right now? Are you okay? Do you need to take a breath?
Yeah.
And it's just but I think within RETSY, I mean, our agents are just professionals where it's just we work together. And I remember doing that transaction and I'm like, I just did a transaction with Brooke. I was telling Shauna, hey, I just did a transaction with Brooke. She didn't need you. I didn't need to call you. We didn't need to do anything. And it was the smoothest transaction. It was a delight to work with her. Well, and she's like, I love Brooke, and she's awesome. And, I just feel like if we were to kind of give this blueprint of this podcast and diving into coming into your career, finding the right team to partner up with. Yeah. But also, you have respect for the team that you're on.
Immense. As you're saying that sweet story about me, I'm thinking about them and what they did to me because I would, like I was saying in the beginning, I would shadow them and go to these things. And I would just I was a sponge. I listened to how I'll be like, Becca, how are you texting that client back? And she'll just read me how she texted it back. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Or, listen to Shauna. Or I call them all the time. I call them to this day all the time. I mean, I was, away this summer and I called Laura on something. I was like, can I just get your advice? And what would you do in this scenario? And they never question me. Nothing's a dumb question. They just answer and I can talk it out. And so I credit them so much to who I've become in this business and how I interact because I've just taken little things that they do and just, then made it into who I am too. Yeah. But I really just respect how they handle business. And that's why they've been doing it all for 25 plus years and have the book of business and the respect and the name. And I mean, that's like I was saying, what's so neat too is I'll walk into a room and these are, Arcadia home tour or a luxury home tour. And if they're not there with me, but I'm wearing a Brooke Fair, the team, I mean, people will shake my hand. And that started from the beginning. And now they know Brooke. But beforehand, I mean, it got me into a lot of doors for sure. And people to answer a call. And, you probably took me a little bit more seriously on that deal. But then I also I
take everybody seriously.
Yeah, no.
Since you're part of the family, it was I'll be honest, I fully expect you to ask me for advice in the transaction. You didn't ask me for anything, really, other than get there and get the door open and let me do my job.
Well, but you were also, we've been at RETSY almost 4 or 5 years now.
Well, yeah, Shauna was one of the original founding partners.
Exactly.
Shauna and I.
And I'm so proud to be a part of RETSY too. And I mean, Matthew, you're the most helpful, knowledgeable, kind human being ever. Oh, I mean, you all make us feel so heard. And I'm calling you on July 4th and you're at Disneyland and you're answering my call. This is a really special place that, Chris, you've created for all of us and community and agents. And so I wear RETSY so proud too.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we
you
love
for
doing
that.
transactions with you guys. And
Yeah, it's the best.
And I mean,
Yes.
anytime I work with, not just Shauna, but Becca, Laura, we have a Becca showing this afternoon, right?
awesome.
Our team's showing a house with Becca, and it's just I just know how smooth it's going to go, and we really want those deals to come together.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, one thing that you had mentioned, kind of going in that PR marketing role, how bored you were. I imagine don't have that problem in real estate.
No, I'm not bored at all. No, at all. It's funny because the first few years, like I said, I was bored just because I didn't have enough to do. And now I have a daughter. She's 17 months old. And now I'm like, oh, I'm not bored at all. And like I was saying, it's like the backwards grind. In the beginning, you kind of start off slow. But then when you create your business and you create the respect in the community and you have clients and then they refer you, then it's like you only get busier and busier and busier. And so now I'm like seeing that, and it's really great and fun to see. So no, I'm not bored at all anymore. No.
That's one of the benefits of real estate. It's never the same. Every deal's different.
Yes.
It's never boring. That's
No.
for sure.
Let me ask you. So, we've talked about this, I think, on another episode, but a lot of times, teams are real hesitant to hiring people. And the reason why we are is you have a couple personalities, right? You'll have that agent that'll come in and do 2 deals and be like, every team usually charges a split. And, that helps cover marketing costs and magazines and newspapers and ads and billboards and online ads and all that stuff. It was just they closed 2 deals and they're like, yeah, I don't think I need a team anymore. And it's filtering people and trying to make sure if you ever feel disengaged with a team, what do you do to re-engage? What do you find? I mean, I know you had said that, hey, I'll call every single Monday.
Communication.
Because it's a two-way street. You can't just, I tell agents, it's if you're going to join this team, any team, right?
Yeah.
It's two-way. They're not just going to feed you, and you're not going to just sit there and
No.
wait for stuff to happen. I love how you said I checked in every Monday and say, hey, how can I help, right?
Yeah.
I have somebody that helps me. It's checks in, hey, don't forget to do this, or how can I help with
Yeah.
this? And it's funny how there's stuff that could just be taken off my plate and put onto somebody else's plate.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I need that person to ask me. And it's the same with what you did. But
Yeah.
what do you find that engages you the most with the team? And then do you guys do special events? Do you do parties? Do you do client parties still? I know you guys used to have a killer client party. I think I snuck into one.
Yeah,
but-
I think they used to do that. I think that might have been right before my time. But that's a great question. Honestly, I mean, they're, like I said, they're just a phone call, a text away. I'll text them and be like, hey, I'm stumped on this inspection report or something. Are one of you around? And I will get a response from at least one of them, if not all 3 of them. Call me. Call me in 5. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. And I can get them someone on the phone within 10 minutes. I mean, at any point. I mean, I've called them late at night. And so I think the communication we have there, I think, we're similar. And probably now I'm more, I'm, like I said, when I started, I wanted to be them when I grew up. And so I'm slowly making my way. Now I'm married, I have my baby, and, I'm trying to be in the community as well in Arcadia. So I think that helps. I think we gel really well together. I think, I don't, all I need from them is just the communication, and they really give that to me. And I feel like I have that support and they have my back so much. And I'm never alone, which is great. And I think that's so important if you're young and starting on a team. But in general, I mean, life's about collaborating and being with people and working together. And I'm just not in this business, I think I give away things more than I would want to take them. And I think to that point, I don't need stuff from them. But what's been so kind of them is I worked with them. That wasn't ever guaranteed up front, oh, we're going to give you this many leads. I didn't even understand that when I started, how that works. I wouldn't even know how to ask for that. But I'll meet with young girls or young guys and they'll ask me how did you start and whatnot. And I'm just really honest with them. If join a team, I say, look for that and put yourself out there, and your team should be there for you, but don't expect too much from them because that's not really, they don't need to give that to you. You're just starting out. You should be so grateful even for that opportunity and that foot in the door. But I honestly, just with them too, I just said yes to everything. Like I kind of made that my mantra in my head. Like I was just the yes girl. And then they kind of started, like Shauna will sometimes say that to me. She's like, you're just the yes girl. And, Becca and Laura have said that too. And so I said yes to everything. So it was not only just me reaching out on Mondays, but then it was them saying, hey, I'm in a pinch. Can you go meet this inspector? I'll be there in 5 minutes. And I just started doing that. And then what happened was that then gave me even more opportunities where maybe they were going to be out of town for a little bit and they needed help with a listing. So then I got to join and be on a listing. And then, maybe they couldn't give, much time or detail. They were so busy and they had a listing or someone to take or share it with me. And then they let me lead it on. And so they ended up giving me so many opportunities. And that was never guaranteed though. So I think as a young agent, just don't expect anything. And it's just work hard, be nice, say yes, honestly.
Yeah. Well, because those opportunities are earned, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like by being proactive and checking in every week with them, like that's what earns you those opportunities.
Yeah.
It's exciting to watch your business grow though. And it's kind of like you're in that point in your career. I see it over and over again where it's just like, obviously license, get married, have the baby. And now it's like you're looking at schools and you're in those different networks. And, it's like your friends are all hitting those milestones in their career where now they're making partner or their business is hitting levels of success and they're moving up. And it's just such a great cycle of the career.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch and see and to have helped friends, with their starter homes like 3 years ago. And now maybe they're on to baby number 2. And so they want to, upgrade. And so I can just see, and even the team now at their age, they're helping people with the downsize homes. And so I can just see like where my business is leading to and what it's kind of become. And I mean, something just happened the first time ever. I mean, I've had, listings here and there, but I finally, you guys are awesome and help with the, just sold postcards. And I got a call from a neighbor and I got the listing from it.
That's awesome.
It works.
So it works. And it's just neat to see.
Not on everyone, but
it doesn't always work. But
you only need a few of them a year to come in and make it worthwhile.
Exactly. But it's neat just to see, all that time and where my business is going. And now I'm getting referrals. Oh, you helped me. And now this family member is moving from Michigan. Can you help them? And I'm like, that's the biggest, greatest compliment ever.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
It works. You have to put in the time. And I think that was something I had to learn was patience. Like I said before, it was like I felt like I had to hit the ground running and be so busy. It was never about money. It was just about more being busy and having like a full day when all my friends were 22, 23 years old and they're in investment banking in New York and grinding and working till midnight. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go open a house. But then I had to shift my mind to think, you know what? I went to work today, opened a house. That's going to lead to something. And then before I knew it, it did lead to something. And now I love where my business is going and what's happened with it.
How often do you do open houses?
I was doing them when I first started all the time, like 3-4 times a week if I could. But now with the baby, it's a little harder. So, of course, if I have the listing every weekend. But I'm taking a little more of a step back on that.
Yeah.
But
that's the perfect way when you're starting your career is to get business, is to do open houses, meet people. Luckily now with our brand, people recognize the brand, so they'll entrust you to help them find homes and stuff.
Yeah.
And we always joke around in the industry, there's check equity and sweat equity. And sweat equity is the open houses, opening doors, doing everything you can to help other people and earning the business. And you did a great job at that.
That was how I sold my first house, was an open house. Someone walked in, and then I met them and didn't know them, and they were the sweetest couple, and that was my first deal ever, that. Yeah. So it works.
Oh, it 100% does.
That works too.
So I wanted to get a little bit more into mindset too. So now in your business, what habits or routines do you contribute to your success today?
So I think, being consistent, checking in with people, I think communication is everything. I'm a really quick responder. I'm pretty on things. If, I'm doing a deal and a client gets, the termite guy comes and sends the receipt, and as soon as I get that receipt, I send it to my client. It's done, taken care of. Like, I just have that mentality, and I've been complimented on that. Like, wow, your attention to detail, and thank you so much for getting that over so quickly, or getting that question responded to so fast. So I really think I'm like an over communicator too. Like, I almost want to, in a deal, be like, okay, we're in the 10-day inspection period. This is how it works, and this is the BINSR we will give to them. But once we sign, if it's a cash deal, you're locked in, or if it's a loan, we've got to wait for that. So I honestly think like over communicating, checking in with people if I know that maybe someone's looking, maybe not right now, but I know they're a potential client. Well, I send them an off market and say, hey, this is coming soon, or this is a RETSY off market that only we get. And it just keeps my name in their minds.
Yeah.
And I'm never a pushy person. And so I always say that too. Like, if they reply like, thanks, Brooke, so much, we're just, we're still waiting 6 more months. I'm like, oh, no worries at all. I just wanted to let you know, like, this was a really great house. So, let's keep something like that in mind 6 months from now. I'll check in later. So I really think over communicating is something I do. And, I try to go to the networking events that I can and be a part of all the agents, and, like, meet with other agents and go to the home tours, and, keep my name with them too. But I just try to stay busy.
You do a great job of coming to a lot of the open houses. I know I see it a lot of them.
Yeah, I try to.
The way our industry works, it's kind of like you support agents and go to open houses, they kind of support you. Like, I'm a part of this group, and I remember this guy sending out a message about some open house in North Scottsdale, and I immediately thought, I'm like, yeah, this guy's never been to one of our team open houses, like, ever. But he just constantly asks, but doesn't give. Like, and the industry doesn't work like that. I mean, it's one thing when you have clients in an area, you want to visit the open house, but sometimes you just go to support the agents.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you get that call on the drive home. And I think I've told this story before at RETSY. Like, I went to one of Babby's awesome open houses. It was like this winery family, and the house was just gorgeous. And I was telling Babby, I'm like, nope, I got nobody. I'm just here to support you, maybe have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And literally on the drive home, I got a referral out of California through the coaching network, a buyer coming into town to see that exact house.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that story.
This is back in the
really
launch
cool.
days. This is not the RETSY days, but he wrote an offer on it too. He didn't fully listen to me, so he didn't get the house, but we ended up selling him like another $10 million house. So it worked out really, really well. But that said, it was just like, the fact that he called me literally on the drive home, which is only a 10-minute drive. And he's like, yeah, I'm worried that there's not enough landscaping. I'm like, I was just there. The house is gorgeous. There's plenty of landscaping. They have this, they have that. But like, supporting other agents, I mean, it's so important to contribute to your business. Mm-hmm. Plus, you have a good pulse on the neighborhood, because you never know when that person's going to call and say, hey, I'm thinking about this one in the Date Palm area. And you're like, oh, yeah, I was just at a broker open supporting my friend that's an agent there. And I can tell you all about it.
Yeah.
The other thing you hit on that I want a lot of people to be present to, so when I get that call from an agent that's like, hey, Chris, I've been kind of slow over the last 60 days. What do I need to do? It's like, I immediately tell them, we go back to the coaching 554s, which I'll explain that, but like, volunteer for open houses. Just go to the RETSY Connect, put in the open house section, say, hey, I'm available on these days to sit open houses. Volunteer to help, right? Because that's sweat equity, you can do it. And then make 5 new contacts to people, 5 follow-up calls. Wait, is it 5 new contacts, 5 follow-up calls, and then 4 past clients, right? Or vice versa. You can switch it around. But the goal is, like, even if you're not tracking those numbers, and I probably just butchered what the 554s were. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart on that right now, but essentially, like, you pick up your phone and you call people that are in your phone. They love to hear from you, and they just assume because you're in real estate, you're so busy. But I'll drive by a past client's house and I'll text them and be like, hey, you redid the landscaping in the yard, it looks awesome, right? And then all of a sudden I get a text back, hey, I was just thinking about you. My neighbor down the street was thinking about selling, right? It's just having communication. And a lot of people, like, when you frame it in a 554 format, they look at it as work. And I'm like, it's not work. It's just being a good friend, right? Like, go through your phone and look at who you haven't checked in with in a long time, or you see something on LinkedIn where they just made partner. It's like, text them and congratulate them. And ask for nothing else in return, right? Just being a good friend and staying in communication. That's how you stay busier. You know, like I joke around with one of our mutual friends, I won't say his name, but I'm like, you go to the 5 a.m. workout class every day and you sold half the homes to everybody in your workout class. What would happen if you went at 6 a.m.? The world wouldn't stop. You just go an hour later and meet 12 new people.
That was really good advice. I remember I met with Becca, you know, in the first year, and I was bored and like, what do I do? And she was like, you do real estate full time. Like you just put your head down, and that's like what everyone needs to know you for. And it's go to a workout class and have your, you know, at that time we were with someone else. So she was like, have that, you know, team bottle there and have like, just be consistent, go to a tennis class, like do things like that because you're going to meet people that way. And that was hard for me to see at first. I was like, oh, how is that going to work? And it does. It really does. It's just putting in that time and effort and, you know, over communicating, reaching out to people. And so that's kind of then with like my marketing, like I started my marketing really slow because I was so lucky to be on the team that I felt like that was all the marketing I ever needed. Like I didn't even think I would ever need to market more. But of course, you know, I need to put my name out there. So I'm Catholic. So my first was putting it at the bulletin at our church, like a little ad. Started that for like year 2, year 3. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Yeah. And then and my second one, I did this like year 4 was I did the Safeway carts. And it's the best. I'm not saying on there like, oh, you have to buy a house with me, but I get so many texts from people in the neighborhood, from, you know, family, friends to, I mean, people I would never even think that would kind of care. And they'll just be like, you just made my day. Like, just push your cart. And it's a great little reminder. But
it's top of mind marketing.
It's a top of mind marketing.
Who's pushing that cart.
Yeah, but it's great advice what you're saying, just reaching out to people.
Well, now that I think about 554, so that's 5 new contacts. 5 past clients, sphere of influence, right? Your friends, and 4 follow-up calls every day. Because we did this study of all these top producing agents, and it's like they don't really log into their website. They don't really do all this stuff, but what do they do that make them a top performing agent? It's like you go through and you look, and it's like, how many calls are you making? It's like, okay, well, we're making 14 calls on average a day. And like, what are those calls? Let's break them out, right? And, you know, the 5 new contacts, I mean, that could be anywhere at any time, like wearing a RETSY shirt at the gym and somebody comes up to you, right? But the follow-ups, like with friends, family, like it's so vitally important for agents to do that. And guess what? If you do it while you're at an open house, like, I'm sorry, you just call me in 60 days. And if you don't have a couple deals in contract, I'd be shocked. So
I think it's like what you put into it. It does work. Like if you put
But you went from sweat equity to some check equity. Yeah. I did the shopping carts too. I know those aren't cheap.
No.
But you know, what's funny is like everybody started calling me Mr. Safeway, and that's when I realized I'm like, I got to end this contract. Or the worst is when you actually go to Safeway and the lady like checking you out is looking at you because she's like, I know you, but I don't know how I know you. She thinks like I wrote a bad check or something like that. I'm like she's like, he's probably on the loss prevention wall, and I'm like hiding the cart that I have.
Oh my gosh. I'm a little more dolled up in that photo. And usually I go like with my baby and workout clothes. I don't think I even look like I hope not. They don't recognize me.
But what you did is, I mean, way more effective than a lot of the advertising out there.
Yeah.
And it's just brand recognition, supporting your church, because you're giving money to the church, but also they know you, they love you, and they trust you. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've just taken a slower approach to like where I'm going to market, but then like probably what's next is whatever, you know, preschool my daughter will be at, and then the grade school. And so, you know, I've just been mindful of my marketing, and, you know, it's all worked out, but it's, you know, I think most of it in real estate, it's just who you are in business and being a good person and just trying to be the best you can for your clients. And that's, you know, the most important. And then all the extra fun things. Like I have an Instagram, but I'm not, for how, you know, young I am, I should be a little better at it, but it's not so my forte. Yeah. But so that's kind of what I've just taken with me too, is like, I'm not going to be someone I'm not. I'm just going to sell how I want to be sold. Like I always think like, if I'm going to go buy shoes, like how would I want someone to sell the shoes to me? And that's how I approach real estate. Like I would want someone to be attentive, not overbearing, not make me feel like I have to do this or the pressure, but just that it's a great experience. It's fun. You'd want to come back again. You'd want to refer me, so trustworthy, all that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I remember that stage in the career where the kids start off at preschool and then elementary school. It was like we were the easiest sale ever for Hopi and Eagles. Now it's like Arcadia High is like so excited. They're like I get the calls from all the dads for Arcadia High. I'm like, how many banners can you actually? I mean, how many stadiums do you guys actually have? It's like we're in football. We're going to the basketball stadium. Apparently, you could buy space in the volleyball stadium. I'm like. Yeah, but it's a great way to get back to the school,
yes,
get
I'm
some brand
excited for all of
recognition,
that.
and then your friends see it and they know you, and then it kind of keeps you top of mind, right? So,
well, I think like doing those advertising, like it's a good point to spend those marketing dollars where you already are known, so that you are staying top of mind.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You're not gonna do the shopping carts in North Scottsdale.
No,
that doesn't make sense.
Then what are we doing next week together? I'm going to pin you down with Sydney or pin you down with me. Pull all your contacts out.
Yes,
and get
we're going to do
ads
that.
Set up your personalized ads.
Yes, we're going to do that.
Like that's the next
That'll
level.
That'll be my next marketing thing. You got it. We'll do that.
So RETSY has a tool where it'll show ads on the websites that all your friends and people that know you and love you in your phone, they'll see ads for you. And it's top of mind marketing, right?
No, that's
Keeping
great.
you present. It works extremely effective.
I do everything in 2 years. So I'm now like 6.5 years now. So I'm due for some marketing thing. So, okay, we'll do that.
All right. So I'm going to pin you down with Sydney. She's going to show you, pull everybody out of your phone, set up your ads. It's set and forget it. But then watch what happens. It's like old friends from college will just text you out of the blue and be like, hey, just saw this ad and I was thinking about you. It's like, it's very effective. But that's marketing 101. I mean, gosh, like moving through your career, I mean, you should be extremely proud of yourself and what you've achieved, but also you're extremely grateful, and I know the team loves you. So
I love them. I'm so grateful for them.
Well, can you share a lesson that you've learned?
I've learned so many lessons. I mean, I could go at different times, but I think like to point for like someone new who's starting in this business, I think I had to learn a lot of patience. And because this business has its ups and downs, and we all know that. And, you talk to someone who's seasoned and they say that too, So I think patience was a really big one. And honestly, like, I think just sticking to, like I said, like sticking to who you are and who you want to be, and surrounding yourself with people that only make that greater and better and support you in that way. And so that's what I've been so lucky and get to do with the team. And so I think that's, my biggest, advice and lesson to give to someone starting it out is to be on a great team and just be patient. If you put hard work into this, it's gonna work out. It's how it is. And I never knew this could even be, and I'm so excited that this is a business where, like, I don't even know where this is going to go, and it's only going to go up, and I know that if I just keep working hard at it. And, I'm with the best brokerage, I'm with the best people, the best team, so I think, it's just patience. It got me there, and it'll continue to get me there. And trying times of right now I'm a little slower, and I'm like twiddling my thumbs again. But before I know it, people will call, and it's all about patience for sure.
100%. Yeah.
And open houses in 554s.
Exactly. That too. Yeah.
And top of mind marketing.
Yes. There's so many things.
Do you want to ask the time machine question? I love the time machine question.
I'll let you do it. I always butcher that question.
So if you had a time machine,
Okay.
you can go back in time 10 years or forward in time 10 years.
Okay.
You get to talk to yourself for 1 minute.
Okay.
Do you go back in time or do you go forward in time? And what do you ask yourself in that 1 minute?
That's a really good question. Like, what do I want to do? I think I want to go back in time.
Okay.
And say that it all works out, and that you just put your head down, you're going to grind in a different way that you didn't think you were going to grind, and it's going to be really hard work, but it's not going to be what you thought, and scrubbing the floors and doing that, but it's going to make you stronger and better. And it's going to be really cool to have your daughter one day and hopefully more kids one day watch you work and keep up with it. And so just, be the person you are, but, it's all going to work out.
Awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
You had touched on, you had a $25 million year last year and a newborn. Like,
yeah, that year was
It usually doesn't coincide with each other.
No, but I obviously I'm religious too, but like there's part of that, but I definitely believe in like a manifestation or just like,
Of course.
like my grandpa, and I always butcher this, but he has like, this is forever his favorite quote, but he always says, whatever your mind can believe and conceive, you can achieve.
Yeah.
And it's just true. Like, and he also says like, you always have to dream, like you die if you stop dreaming.
Yeah.
And so I was like, of course, wanted a family, and the team does it. They have kids and, they're great wives and mothers, but I was like, I was just kind of starting to like get up there right before I got pregnant with my daughter. But I was like, I don't want people to think I'm not now working, because that is a question that women do get, and people will be like, oh, are you going to now stop working? And I was so determined to make that known, like, no, I am working. I was so determined that I sold the biggest house that I've sold to my career 2 weeks after my daughter was born. And I think I sold 5 houses within the 6 weeks of her first of her being here. And I was like, it was really hard, but I was so determined to do that even before she was born, and so determined to do it when she was born and continue that on, that I think I manifested that. Like I actually said it to my sister before I had my daughter. She was born in March of 2024. In January, I said to my sister, I want to have my best year yet, the year Blake, who's my daughter, is born. And I did. And so I really think whatever your mind can believe and conceive, you can achieve. Like I truly believe that, and it's all to hard work, surrounding yourself with people, and so, with good people. And I was proud of myself, and I can't wait to tell Blake that one day. That was
for sure.
That was a fun, year to have, for sure. A special year.
Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by people that believe in visions and willing stuff into their lives, and
that reminds me of that letter. Can we talk about your 10-year letter?
Oh, the 10-year letter to myself. Yeah. It was...
when did you write that?
12 years ago.
Okay, so you've read it.
Or no, so it was more or less like kind of a business planning of like, how do you see the future? And I was with a really great coach that kind of walked me through a vision where you close your eyes and you have to picture every little thing in your life, like where you live, where your life is, what your family looks like, your parents look like, what does everything look like? I get kind of emotional talking about it because it's so crazy, but we wrote it all down, and I found it the other day, and it was like everything on there happened. Like everything.
To a T. Like
Mary Kelly. I think I said boy and then girl, but I had girl then boy.
Wow.
The neighborhood I live in. Like what's funny is I even pictured that house.
Wow.
You know the house.
Yes, I know the house. Yeah.
So, the neighborhood I live in, the house, the rentals we own, the assets we own, what we have in the bank, what we have for investments, and everything that I wrote down was 100% true.
Wow.
And it wasn't 10 years, it was 5 years.
Was it 5? Oh, okay. I screwed that up.
Yeah. Starting a brokerage, at that time it was launched. I didn't know it was going to be RETSY, but the universe is so strange.
No, but I believe it. Like, it really, it works. But you worked really hard for all those things too. You don't just sit back. So I think that's too with like, young agents starting out. I think there's a lot of, you see things on social media or TV shows or things where you think like, oh, it just is this easy to do. Yeah. It's not easy, of course not. But if you work really hard and you put your mind to it, I really believe, and that's what I was saying in your question of like 10 years ago, saying that like, if you believe and you work hard, like it will happen. It'll all work out. It does. And so that's a good that's a good
I'll
thing.
dig up a picture of that letter, send it to Jack.
That's really cool.
I don't know if there's
Chris.
too many personal things on there. I don't know that I want everybody to see all that, but it's just it's having a vision and doing it. And something you should add to your grandfather's quote is, and let me make sure I don't butcher this, but you completely underestimate or you completely overestimate what you can do in 1 year and completely underestimate what you can do in 5.
Yeah.
And this is why it was always kind of a joke where it's like, okay, write down your income, right, that you want to make next year, right? So then you write down that number, and then the coach is like, okay, now add a 0 to that. And you're like, oh. And then he's like, now picture that as your quarterly tax payment. And it's just like, I remember going through these, and sure as shit, every single one of those is true. Well, I still make those quarterly tax payments. But it's 100% true. And it's like, you have to have that vision. And then it's just like, you work backwards. Like, how are you going to get there? Because you got to have the vision, and then you got to break it down. Like, how am I going to get there? How many homes do I need to sell? Okay, I got to sell this many homes. How many phone calls do I need to make to get there? How many ads do I need to run? And it's just a reverse prospecting thing. We need to get back to like the 1-page business plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, some of these companies make people do 30-page business plans that they do once and then they never pick up again. No. But the 1 page, it's like, I would put it like literally next to my mirror in the morning, like, and just kind of be present to like, here's what you need to focus on. So, yeah.
And that was one of the parts of like the Tom Ferry coaching I really enjoyed. It was like kind of like breaking it down like a math problem. Like, and there's so many different ways where it's like, okay, figure out how many conversations you need to have to make to sell a home. Because like, then you need to figure out, okay, what's your goal of how many homes? And then, okay, how many conversations you need to have to make that happen, and so on and so forth. My favorite one was the contacts. Look at how many contacts you have in your phone. On average, 5 to 6% of those people are going to move.
That's really
year.
Interesting.
Are you making your 5-5-4s?
Yeah, exactly. Back to that.
Yeah.
So it's like staying in front of those people to have those opportunities.
Well, and it's just like you work, you grind, you struggle. It was like I joke with Kelly, and it's like we spent 10 years. It felt like we lived paycheck to paycheck because every time we had enough money, we'd buy a rental, right? We'd get a loan on it and everything. And we just, we made the goal of buying a couple rentals a year, and that was in the business plan. And it's funny how when you spend all your money on assets, you don't blow your money on dumb stuff. And you can accumulate a little bit of wealth and success over a 5 to 10 year period. But it's just like you watch it just come together, and it's like, this is so great. And having the right mentors, right? Like I listen to a lot of like Robert Kiyosaki. Tom Ferry was a personal coach and friend, and have a lot of the coaches that I had throughout growing up, I still communicate with. And then the coaching, I became a coach, and a lot of my clients became coaches. So it's just staying in touch with all of them and just refreshing their memory and talking to them about that. But all the way back to just seeking advice. That's one great thing about this company is you don't just have to pick up, or you don't have to call Becca, Laura, and Shauna. Like anybody in this company will pick up their phone and be happy to answer a question and help you. And it reflects back to my very first week. I was 18, got licensed, Century 21. They gave me a desk. They gave me my business cards. And I sat there with I think it was a Palm Pilot. And I'm trying to figure out okay, now how do I sell real estate, right? And I literally, there's a gentleman, Frank Ward, who was one of my mentors back in the day. He just sat there and watched me for a week. I'd come in every morning at 8 a.m. and I'd leave every day at 5 o'clock. And I don't know what the hell I did for a week, right? And then one day he's like, kid, get in my car. I'm going to show you how to set up an open house, and you're going to sit it for me. It was like, and the first person walked in, he walked me through, here's what you say, here's the information you want to get out of them. And then it's just like, and the next thing you know, I'm like doing 2 open houses a week for him. And then all of a sudden I got a listing. I don't even know how I got a listing. I don't even know what to do, but he mentored me and helped me through that, right? And then that's how I started. I got on a team. I was part of his team, and he mentored me, and I listened, and I was very humbled, and I did a lot of stuff for him and was with him for a while until he retired. So,
wow, that's...
Everybody should be paying attention to that in this industry.
Yes. You can learn a lot from people, and I don't know best or better, and they do. And
you pay attention.
Yes, and so I'm so grateful. And look how you talk about your mentor. I just...
Lots of respect for all of them.
Yes, of course. And that's exactly how I feel about all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we always like to ask, what's your favorite RETSY tool?
Oh, what's my favorite RETSY tool? Well, I just met with Colton and I did the luxury presence. That's pretty cool.
Good.
I just got that all set up. That's like really neat.
Did you download the corresponding RETSY app so you can have the communication boards and everything? Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. He set me all up with everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that you guys offer so much. If it's like, I can reach out to Darian. Can you help me with the listing presentation? And she can help me put that together. And I mean, everyone at RETSY is so collaborative, willing to help. Like to your point, like I'll call Sienna on a question on a deal, and she's not on our team, but we're similar ages, and I just love her and her demeanor. And so it's like, I think the collaboration is the tool that's my favorite. I know that's not one of your guys' technology tools, but
that holds into culture, and that's
your
what
culture. It's huge. Your culture is
I've said this
everything.
time and time again. Like, I mean, we try to we celebrate the wins, and we celebrate how like different agents at different points in their career will sit down and help other agents and answer calls. So it just makes for a better company, better experience. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Your guys' culture is.
It's going to be the ad tool will be your favorite after
next
week.
Yes, it will.
Just give it 2 weeks of running, and you'll be like, Chris, how have I not done this before now? Like, ask Chrissy, right?
Yes.
It's funny because like when I hear your story, I immediately think, okay, Chrissy's got a couple of years on you, right? Like second kid,
Chrissy's
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Sienna and you are very close. Yeah, I mean the same stories, and I mean Sienna was like the backbone of our company when we started it. Yeah, still kind of is to this day. She helps 100%. Out so much behind the scenes. Never gets the credit she deserves. So.
She deserves all the credit.
Yeah.
But that's a good advice to young agents too. Collaborate, team up. I mean, not necessarily you have to be on their team, but I did that in the beginning. I would connect with young girls, guys that were new in the industry, and we were all just kind of figuring it out together. So, hey, do you want to go to the broker open together? Do you want to go to the home tour together? Hey, I'm going to try to get this listing. What do you think? And it's just like to be able to be, the same age with someone and do that too. So I think that's good advice too for young agents, and, it'll just continue. And then those relationships, I think about people that I met in the beginning, and, it's awesome.
Yeah, because this is a very relationship business. I mean, it's a relationship not only with the clients, but with the agents in the industry and the market too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're getting close on time. You want to hammer out one more question?
Yeah. So where do you see Arizona real estate in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think
if you had a crystal ball.
I think still growing. I mean, people want to move here. It's an amazing state, and we're only growing and expanding outward. I think, because I'm definitely more Arcadia based, I think Arcadia could, maybe expand. It's funny, when I grew up here, there was never a proper or a light. It was just Arcadia.
Yeah. And Osborne.
Yes, my parents met at Hopi. So like
Wait, they met in elementary school?
Yes, they met at Hopi.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So we're like true Arcadia people.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, they've lived in the neighborhood forever. And so they laugh when I show them something. They're like, what's Arcadia like? We're not like, that's just Arcadia, or that's where, blah, 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 I grew up's house was. But I could see the borders getting pushed a little bit. I think we're starting to see that. That's just my opinion. But I think just expanding, I think, especially during those peak seasons when we're selling and people come here for, the Phoenix Open and Barrett-Jackson. And I mean, who doesn't want to be here during the spring or the fall? So
spring training.
Yeah, spring training, all of that. So I really just see it expanding more, even though I'd love to keep it hidden, but it's not.
I haven't found a single agent that's like, no, the market's going to stop.
No, I don't see that.
No. I don't see that.
Yeah. No, I just always very bullish on our market. And as long as it's desirable and people want to come here, which it is, and the growth pattern of all these companies that are coming here and factories being built and the TSMC center.
Yeah.
Have you driven by that? Like, it's insane how big that campus is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, one of my neighbors is now in charge of like building out like the residential parts and different things that they're doing there. I mean, they're adding so many homes down there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So very bullish in the market.
Yeah.
So
last time I was out there, I counted, I think there was like 17 cranes in the air.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane what's going on up there.
Yeah.
But
Anthem's not so far away anymore.
no,
I was talking to an agent about that yesterday. He's like, remember my first house in Anthem, and God, it would just take forever. It seems so far away, and now it's like, oh, yeah, it's Anthem.
Yeah, no, it's not far. No.
Well, we really appreciate your time.
Thank you,
thank you for being here. So after the
Great
podcast,
episode.
how do people connect with you?
So I do have an Instagram that is Brooke Fair Realtor. And you can also go to the team's website that has all of our team, I think it's the Team 4 results, 4 with a
Number
4. And that has all of our team's listings. And I think that's the best way. You can call, email me if you want to sell or buy.
Hey, Brooke at RETSY?
And I'm Brooke at RETSY.com for my email. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I got in early, so.
If they got in early, if they get their first name at RETSY,
I felt so cool.
Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
make sure Jack links all that in the show notes for everybody. But we really appreciate you today.
Guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Brooke.
That was
Thanks
so
for coming in.
fun.
That wraps up this week's episode of the RETSY Podcast. Thanks for listening. Check out the show notes to connect with Brooke. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a moment and leave us a review wherever you listen to this podcast. And please subscribe so you never miss what's next. Next week, Chris and Matt are sitting down with RETSY attorney Michael Orcutt. Here's a sneak preview.
Buyers notice a couple of white vans parked across the street. So they ask the seller, what's going on with that? Allegedly, the seller says, I don't know, maybe they're having a party. So I guess buyer kind of sloughs it off, close escrow. About a week later, the allegation is that the wife who is pregnant is unpacking in the garage, and some young person comes running across the street, screaming and demanding to use her cell phone. It turns out that's a sober living facility across the street where the white vans were. And it wasn't a party, even though the seller denies having made that statement. Those were the vehicles that were used to take, the occupants of the residents, to the grocery store and back or wherever. And so that turned into a lawsuit.